Assalamualaikum and hi everyone. Today we will move to lecture 5 of 6 and we will learn about present value of the annuity represented by capital letter A. By the end of this lesson, students should be able to determine the present value, determine regular or periodic payment, and determine the total interest. Without further ado, I will leave it to Madam Salawati to explain about present value of the annuity, which is known as capital letter A.
Present value of the annuity, denoted as A. So what is the present value of an annuity? The present value of an annuity is the sum of the present value of all payment. It represents the amount that must be invested now to purchase the payment due in the future. In other words, the present value of an annuity is the accumulated value of the periodic payment at the time 0. The method for computing the present value are based on the following time scale. We are going to use the formula S equal to P1 plus I to the power of N. But R here represent S. Okay, so since R represent S, so we have R equal to P1 plus I to the power of N. Therefore, P equal to R over 1 plus I to the power of N, or P equal to R 1 plus I to the power of negative N. So N here represent the terms. Okay, so this is all our P. Okay, so the accumulated amount at the time 0 will be A. Okay. Adding all the present values of each payment R, we have A equal to R1 plus I to the power of negative 1 plus R1 plus I to the power of negative 2 plus R1 plus I to the power of negative 3 and so on. Again, this is the sum of n terms in the geometric sequence. So after reforming some simple algebra, we will obtain the present value formula A equal to R1 minus 1 plus I to the power of negative N over I. So the interest earned for the present value of an annuity, I, is given by R times N minus A, where I is the interest earned, A is the present value of annuity. Let us look at the first example. Determine the present value for an annuity of RM300 for every 6 months for a period of 15.5 years at an interest rate of 8% compounded half yearly. So compounded half yearly means M equal to 2. So list down all the information. R equal to 300, M equal to 2, T equal to 15.5, J equal to 0.08. Therefore, I equal to 0.08 over 2, N equal to 2 times 15.5. A is given by the formula R times 1 minus 1 plus I to the power of negative N divided by I. So substitute all the values. R equal to 300. 1 minus 1 plus I is 0.08 over 2 to the power of negative 2 times 15.5 is 31. over 0.08 over 2. So simplify, and then we have the value for A is RM 5,276 and 55 cents. How much money must be invested now at an interest rate of 4% compounded quarterly so that the withdrawal of RM100 can be made every 3 months for 5 years to come? So list down all the information given. So here we have R equal to 100, M equal to 4, J equal to 0.04, T equal to 5, therefore I equal to 0.04 over 4 and equal to 5 times 4 equals 20. Okay, A, the present value, is given by the formula R times 1 minus 1 plus I to the power of negative n over I. So substitute all the values. R equal to 100, 1 minus 1 plus I equal to 0.04 over 4 to the power of negative n equal to 20 over 0.04 over 4. Therefore, A equal to RM 1804.56. For this example, in discharging a debt of 19,000 with interest rate of 7% compounded quarterly, Amin agrees to make equal payment every 3 months, the first due in 3 months and the last due in 8 years. So find the value of this equal payment. So what we are going to find here is the equal payment, okay, the R. Okay, so list down all the information. We have A, the present value, equal to 19,000. Interest rate, J is 0.07. Compounded quarterly, so M equal to 4. And T equal to 8 years. Therefore, I equal to 0.07 over 4 and equal to 4 times 8, 32. Okay, so the formula A equal to R 1 minus 1 plus I to the power of negative n over I. Okay, so here A equal to 19,000. R that we are going to find 1 minus 1 plus I 0.07 over 4 to the power of negative n, so negative 32 here, over 0.07 over 4. Therefore, R equal to RM 780 and 48 cents. Next example, Rudy buys a land for 110,000. He makes 20% down payment and the balance he takes a loan for 25 years that charge an annual interest rate of 5% compounded monthly. Find the monthly payment and the total amount of interest that will be paid. So here, list down all the information. So information A, the amount that Rudy takes a loan is 80% of 110,000. So 80% of 110,000, which equal to 88,000. And then the interest rate, J is 0.05, compounded monthly M equal to 12, and he takes a loan for 25 years. So T equal to 25. Okay, therefore I equal to 0.05 over 12, N equal to 12 times 25. Alright, for question A, the monthly payment. So R, we are going to find the value for R. A equal to R, 1 minus 1 plus I to the power of negative N over I. So substitute all the values. A equal to 88,000. R, we are going to find R, 1 minus 1 plus I, 0.05 over 12 to the power of negative 12 times 25, all divided by I, 0.05 over 12. Therefore, R equal to RM, 514 ringgit and 44 cents. And then the question also asks for the total amount of interest that will be paid. Question B, interest paid equal to R times N minus A. Okay, so R here is 514 ringgit and 44 cents times N. N is 12 times 25 minus A. So the value for interest paid is RM 66,332 and 0 cent.
Now, I will continue for last example in this lecture, which is example 5. Let's read the question together. To settle a loan of 20,000 ringgit at 8% compounded annually, Roslan has to pay 3,000 ringgit every year. Find the number of payments that must be made to settle the loan. Here we have the amount of loan, which is 20,000 ringgit. Here, Roslan already has 20,000 ringgit. That means this is the present value that Roslan had. Therefore, 20,000 is our value of A. So A is equals to 20,000 ringgit. And then we are given 8% compounded annually, which means this will be our J is 0.08, and annually means that our M will be equals to 1, which gives us the value of I, which is 0.08 over 1. It will become I equals to 0.08. And then the next value that we have is Roslan has to pay 3,000 ringgit every year, which means that this is the periodic payment that Roslan need to pay. Therefore, this will be our R. R is periodic payment. So R is equals to 3,000 ringgit. The question asks you to find the number of payments that must be made to settle the loan, which means it is referring to our value of N. Where can we see the value of N? The value of N is inside the formula of present value A and future value, which is S, and also in compound interest without R. Okay? But for this example, we have present value. Therefore, we will go with present value formula. First of all, let's rewrite the information that we have. First, we have our A, which is 20,000. And then we have our I, which is 0.08. We have R is 3,000 ringgit. And then we need to find the value of N. Let's rewrite the formula for present value, where A is equals to R, 1 minus 1 plus I to the power of negative N over I. This is the formula for present value. Just put all the values inside the formula, where A is 20,000, our R is 3,000, 1 minus 1 plus I is 0.08, and N is the one that we need to find. So it will become like this. So just simplify your equation. You will get such that 20,000 over 3,000 times 0.08, it will become 1 minus 1.08 to the power of negative N. Simplify the equation and we will get 8 over 50 will be equals to 1 minus 1.08 to the power of negative N. Next, we will get 1.08 to the power of negative N equals to 1 minus 8 over 15. And that will give us 1.08 to the power of negative N equals to 7 over 15. So here we have 1.08 to the power of negative N equals to 7 over 15. We need to find the value of N. If you remember from the chapter 1, if our indices is unknown and we need to find the indices, we need to ask help from logarithm. So how? We just put log on both sides. So this is the knowledge that you have in chapter 1. So let's write logarithms on both sides. It will become log 1.08 to the power of negative N will be equals to log 7 over 15. And then we can bring negative N to the in front of log. It will become negative N log 1.08 equals to log 7 over 15. We will have negative N equals to log 7 over 15 divided by log 1.08. So here we just use log base 10. Okay? Simplify your equation, then you will get your N is equals to 9.9. Since the question asks for the number of payments, here we have the number of payments, means that it must be whole number. So we can conclude that our N is equals to 10. We cannot say N is equals to 9. This is totally wrong. Because according to the actual N that we get, which is 9.9, it means that the loan was settled after the 9th payment. So what comes after 9? It is 10, right? That's why we conclude our n is 10, not 9. Okay? So, n equals to 10 is our final answer. Now, let's do a quick summary about the future value S and also the present value A. Since we already learned about these two things, future value and the present value, let's do a quick summary about the similarities and the differences between two of them. First of all, let's look at the similarities. The similarity is just both of them requires a large amount of money. And then, when will we get the money? For future value, we will get the money in the future. Whereas, for the present value, we already have the money now. That's why it is called the present value, which is some amount of money that is already in our hand. And then the next part is about keyword. What are the keywords in order to know the question is about future value or the amount in the question is about the present value? So, the keyword for the future value, the question will give you how much to earn, how much to get, and same goes to will get. How much of money that you get at the end of the given period. So these are the keywords in order to know the amount of value or the question asks you to find the future value S. Meanwhile, for the present value, most of the cases we will consider discharging a debt, settle the loan, buying a capital such as land, house or car. Why we would consider these cases as present value? Because if you have no money now, you cannot do all these examples of present value. Mean that if you want to discharge a debt, you know the value of your debt. If you want to settle the loan, that means you already have the amount of loan in your hand now. If you want to buy a capital now, you need to have a large amount of money now in order to buy a capital. That's how we differentiate between the present value and the future value. And then the next aspect that we would see is about the formula. If you can see here, the formula for future value and present value, it looks like the same, right? But they are totally two different things. Both are about a large amount of money. Future value is amount of money in the future, whereas present value is amount of money that you have now. Okay? So this is the quick review about the similarity and the differences between future value and present value.